A vast, unbroken canopy of emerald green stretches across the horizon, breathing under the heat of a restless sky. For 165 million years, this planet has known only one law, one architecture of power. There are no cities here, no roads, no human whispers to break the prehistoric silence. Only the deep, rhythmic thrumming of life scaled to the size of mountains. This is the late Cretaceous period. This is North America 66 million years ago, and it is the final morning of the Mesozoic world. On land, the earth shakes beneath the multi-ton stride of Triceratops, clearing paths through the dense subtropical forests. In the skies, pterosaurs with the wingspans of small aircraft glide silently on thermal currents, casting long shadows over the lowlands. In the depths of the shallow inland seas, massive marine reptiles cut through the water.
It was balance. It was ambition. It was power. For eons, this world has been a fortress of biology, an empire forged in scales and bone that seemed entirely indestructible. Yet even in that order, the fracture had already begun. High above the clouds, the sky holds a deceptive stillness. The morning sun warms the valleys of the Hell Creek Formation just as it has for millennia, illuminating a thriving ecosystem unaware that time itself has just been given a definitive endpoint. Beneath the ferns, tiny furry mammals stir in the undergrowth, scurrying beneath the feet of giants. They are evolutionary afterthoughts, living in the margins of a world that belongs entirely to the dinosaurs. But gravity is an absolute ruler. Out in the cold vacuum of space, a mountain of carbon and stone is falling toward the Earth at 40,000 miles per hour, silently closing the distance across the cosmic void. The sun reaches its peak in the midday sky, unaware of the shadow racing toward it from the dark. Out in space, the mountain of rock is no longer a distant speck. It fills the sky, a jagged mass of black stone and ice, dragging a tail of cosmic dust behind it. The asteroid enters the atmosphere at a sharp angle, aiming directly for a shallow, warm sea in what is now the Gulf of Mexico. It takes less than 3 seconds to travel from the edge of space to the water's surface. A massive pillar of compressed, white-hot air punches into the ocean first, blasting the water away and exposing the bedrock below. And then, the mountain hits the Earth. The impact is not an explosion, it is a displacement of reality. In the first microsecond, the 9-mile mountain of rock punches 6 miles deep into the ocean floor, breaking straight through the planet's crust. Then comes the heat. The vaporized rock thrown into the upper atmosphere forms a massive glowing blanket of debris that expands across the globe. As this material falls back to Earth, friction turns each tiny grain into a shooting star. Within hours, the sky turns a brilliant, terrifying crimson. The atmosphere turns into a global oven, radiating intense heat that ignites the forests below. From the Americas to the plains of Europe, the world begins to burn. The fires spread with a terrifying speed, driven by hurricane-force winds born from the heat of the impact. Across entire continents, the smoke of burning forests rises, choking out what little light remains. But for the creatures that survived the initial blast and the falling fire, the true horror is rolling in from the oceans. The impact in the shallow sea has displaced trillions of tons of water. A wall of water, nearly a half-mile high, surges outward from the epicenter. This is not a standard wave, it is a solid mountain of ocean traveling at the speed of a jet airliner. It slams into the coasts of the Americas, tearing up entire coastlines, uprooting ancient forests, and dragging millions of tons of mud, rocks, and drowning animals back into the deep.
hours move into days. As the global wildfires slowly burn themselves out, a profound, eerie silence settles over the planet. The air is thick with a toxic mix of ash, soot, and billions of vaporized sulfur dioxide. The wind carries this dark shroud around the entire globe, weaving a dense, impenetrable blanket high in the stratosphere. The sun, which had warmed the Mesozoic world for millions of eons, simply vanishes. A dark, freezing twilight takes its place. The sulfur in the atmosphere reacts with moisture, creating a relentless, burning rain of sulfuric acid that poisons the rivers, the lakes, and the surface of the oceans. With the sunlight completely blocked, temperatures across the planet plummet by 40 degrees in a matter of weeks. The tropical paradises of the Cretaceous are replaced by a global, pitch-black winter. Weeks move into months, and months stretch into agonizing years. The darkness is total, an absolute shroud that starves the planet of its bloodline. Without sunlight, the delicate clockwork of the Mesozoic world grinds to a devastating halt. The first to fall are the plants. The vast forests of ferns, the towering conifers, and the lush tropical flora wither and die, unable to photosynthesize. With the vegetation gone, the great engines of life collapse from the bottom up. The massive, multi-ton plant eaters, the triceratops, the duck-billed dinosaurs, and the armored ankylosaurs wander through a frozen, dead landscape, searching for food that no longer exists. Within months, starvation claims the herds. And where the herbivores fall, the predators inevitably follow. The apex killers, like the Tyrannosaurus, survived for a time by scavenging the endless fields of carrion. But even the largest carcasses are stripped clean eventually. In the biting cold of the long impact winter, the giants cannot sustain their massive metabolisms. One by one, the ruling reptiles of the earth lay down in the freezing mud, never to rise again. An empire that stood for 165 million years is erased not by the fire of the impact, but by the slow, quiet agony of starvation and cold. Yet even in the ashes, something endured. Down beneath the frozen crust, tucked away in deep burrows and rotting logs, a different kind of survivor waited out the storm. Small mammal-like creatures, no larger than rats, fed on insects, seeds, and the remnants of a dead world. They were adaptable, they were warm-blooded, they could weather the cold. Alongside them, small avian dinosaurs, the ancestors of modern birds, and resilient reptiles like crocodiles and turtles clung to the margins of survival. When the skies finally cleared millions of years later, the sun illuminated a radically altered world. The giants were gone. The canvas of the planet was completely blank, waiting for a new story to be written. If you believe history like this deserves to be remembered, and that the stories of our planet's great transitions shape who we are today, join us on this journey through time. Explore the echoes of the past and help us preserve the memory of worlds long gone. The fire created the dark, but the dark forged the dawn. From the ruins of an ancient empire, our world was born.